take it.
Rafinha, pretty fed up of being a backup player, Jerry, and he wants to assert himself.
No, he's a very good squad player. He has got great ability. He's played a lot more football, you can see, than some of the other young lads who only had 2 or 3 games. Rafinha is a bit of class, I think, but he hasn't hit the target enough in the 2 opportunities he's had in the second half. Should have done better.
Napoli with a lot of defending to do now.
Rakitic, lack of concentration, Paul.
There's his mistake for the season. Gulam came on for Mario Rui, incidentally. Rui took 1 or 2 fairly severe blows. Verdi and Milik, it was given offside. Arkadiusz Milik, a different style of frontman, isn't he, Jerry? Completely to the trio of Callejon, Insigne and Mertens, but he got 17 Serie A goals in what was his 2nd season at Napoli. That is very
impressive.
Good.
That's very impressive, and he's not a small player. He's a big player, but his movement was good. He timed his run on the offside there really well, I thought.
And so they have Verdi playing just off him now. Verdi, a player, it's got to happen at Napoli because everybody in Italy's been waiting for him really to become a top-line performer for, what, 5 years and more now. He's had 2 goes at it in Milan and Bologna. Better little spell for Napoli suddenly. Callejon. Verdi on the move. Milik showed him where he wanted it. So it's a completely different proposition to defend against this style, isn't it, if you're Barcelona, Jerry, suddenly?
It is, but the fresh players coming on has given them a little bit of a boost, and they've got renewed energy, but they've got to start passing the ball a little bit better. Some of it's sloppy.
Got to be a foul, hasn't it?
Look, the foul all day long, but do you know what? He's done so well to come out with the ball. And here's Rafinha again, who's been at the heart of everything. Oh, this is good.
Much improved in the second half, Puig. That was not a great ball from him, however, to Perez. Gets another go at it. Good game, isn't it?
It's been a much better game than the second half with the fresh players coming on, and Barcelona doing the normal, which is their passing is usually very good, and Rakitic on the ball looking for an opportunity to try and pass it forward. That's not a great ball, but Ricky Puig has done really well second half, much better than the first half for me. That's a poor pass.
Busquets was onto it quickly. Rafinha looks for a free kick and gets it. Rafinha got a knock a couple of minutes ago. I think he's still feeling it here.
He's got surrounded very quickly here, and that's a straight down the back of his Achilles there. That was not a clever piece of play. Gaetano didn't do an awful lot. Another substitution. It's for Barcelona this time. Well, they're rigging the changes, aren't they? Oh, Frankie de Jong.
Along with Dembele, Nelson Semedo and Piqué.
Well, this is more of an experienced side coming in now. They're going to get the last 25 minutes of the game, and this is going to be closer to the first team that kicks off the season Friday week.
So the 75 million purchase from Ajax. De Jong Semedo's going to come on and play it right back, clearly.
And PK is going to go in for Todibo. I think we called that one, didn't we, in the first half? No surprise.
Rakitic and Rafinha lining this free kick up.
It favors the right foot.
Rakitic it is.
Well, usually when the goal is covered by the wall on that right-hand side of the goal, it's the right foot that curls it over the top of the goal. He tries to curl it round it and it doesn't hit the target. As a disappointing free kick from Rakitic.
Callejon. Barcelona a bit stretched. Nelson Semedo has to cover. Just run away a little bit from Insigne. De Jong. What a war he gets. Dembele outside him. Made some room to have a shot, which he does. He hits the post. There's a great effort from Dembele. Merit beaten, all ends up.
Well, there's the class you're talking about. Two class players, De Beek and Dembele combined, and that's what Barcelona can bring on. Wow.
Mighty, mighty close.
It's been Barcelona's half, the second half for me. And they've got more full strength side out and they look class at the minute now.
PK keeps the tempo upbeat. Rolling Stones come here in a couple of weeks, a bit like the warm-up, and then the band really started to play. Start me up, Jerry, start me up.
It's like the Rolling Stones going on stage without Mick Jagger, and then the second half they bring him on. But they put some class players on now, and it's more a formidable Barcelona side. And here's a chance through the middle.
It's Milik. Surely he's going to take it on himself. He does! Oh, it's a brilliant stop by Neto.
That's class. That is class, I have to say. Milik has done everything right. But what a save. That's the best save of the game for me. It's almost past him. He collapses so quickly. This is the shot from earlier from Dembele. What a great shot off the post.
On we go, end to end. And Neto grabs that one from Insigne.
Well, Jared PK, he's sort of still in second gear for me. But that was a mistake earlier there, once again from Umtiti. That allowed Milik to get in on the left-hand side and get the cracking shot off.
Forward move was made by De Jong and it emptied that space. Here's Dembele. Goes again, Dembele. Forceful from Milik.
I think it was a flailing hand, came back. Oh, hard. Much of it hit Umtiti, and there's a yellow card. Sometimes it's an accident when players are running away, and I think that's the case there. Milik is saying, look, I'm running away. Well, the hand comes back. I think he's holding him off rather than throwing it back. The referee sees that.
You see, the other thing there is from the other angle, Jerry. Umtiti has a grab at the shirt.
Yeah, but you know what? Umtiti's gone down far too easy for me. He's the centre half. You know, when you feel a hand coming around your face, you don't collapse like that. That's what we see in the modern game. Players go down too readily for me.
A very upbeat second half here in the Hard Rock Stadium. Could go either way. Rakitic. Again a forward move by De Jong.
Good ball.
Down the side to Nelson Semedo. Rafinha. Rakitic with room. De Jong, he's actually aimed at Ava Ruiz. Was a very good run by De Jong again.
Yeah, but both players went to the near post. I'd like to see one of them hug the far post. Would have given more of a problem. And Rakitic disappointed with the final ball. But Barcelona certainly in the up in the second half. They've dominated the second half more for me. And we get a chance to see some of the new signings as well.
Second drinks break now. This was the opener for Busquets, steered beautifully into the corner, away from Meret. Not quite certain that Barcelona merited being in front, if you'll pardon the appalling pun, but they took it, and they didn't last long in the lead. Napoli with a deserved leveller. Callejon at the top of your screen there, cutting in and cutting round Firpo. Umtiti did the rest. Quite a few near things at either end in this second half, but it's still all to be won and lost. And remember again, this is the first of leg of 2 in this meeting of La Liga and Serie A.
It's very entertaining, Paul, though, I have to say, really entertaining.
Here's Goulam. Another of the old stalwarts at Napoli, of course. Raul Albiol moved back to Spain, didn't he, in the summer, Jerry? He's going to play for Villarreal.
Yep. Villarreal play some really good football. It's a club just outside Valencia.
Former Valencia keeper Neto. Zielinski. That was better by Piqué. De Jong. Looks to have been given a bit more of a licence to go forward tonight by Valverde, Jerry. He just sat against Arsenal quite a lot.
Well, I think he's going to grow in confidence, and he's going to know what his teammates are all about, and he'll find that out in training. So it's a process of give him 2 or 3 weeks to settle down and 3 or 4 games to settle down. We'll see the class that De Jong has. But if you're an Ajax fan, how do you replace him?
Absolutely, that's the key issue. Brazil and Peru set to meet in an international here on September the 10th.
Oh, look at this.
Here's Dembele of France. All the way to the edge of the box. Edged off it. Rakitic. Julian Firpo was free. Never got the ball.
He was the better pass for me.
Milik. Insigne. Here's Goulam. Great ball, Milik, how does he miss that? A centre forward like that, 17 Serie A goals last season, all he has to do is head it.
That's a bit of showboating from me. Heading it into the back of the net was too easy for him. In it comes, and he just tries to chest it in. That's ridiculous. Fabulous ball from Goulam, and he should have done better. It should have been 2-1 to Napoli. Carlo Ancelotti will not be a happy man, believe you me. I don't know why he's smiling.
That's embarrassing for a professional footballer, Jerry. I'm sorry.
Awful. He had the ball in the back of the net. He's a yard from goal. Neto should have been beaten.
Vaguely disrespectful of Barcelona, to be honest with you, but You know, if you're 4 or 5-1 up, maybe you could understand it, but otherwise, come on.
I've seen something similar for Spain a few months ago, and it was Rodrigo who plays for Valencia, and he was playing at the far post. The ball comes in, and he tried to let it hit his back to cushion it in front of his teammate, and it was disgraceful. That was an international match.
That's fearful.
He's come in with his left foot and blocked it, but the reaction again of the players, and that's why he's going to end up getting booked for that.
Verdi.
Did you see Verdi had a little look over his right shoulder, knew he was coming, and played the game really well. I don't think there was that much contact, but he knew he was going to get the free kick, and he got him a yellow card as well.
Outside Husai has come on for Napoli. Again, talk that Husai might be on the move, potentially to the Premier League. And Titi. Suddenly the pace drops, but it's been really frantic here in the second half.
There's a lot more calculation going on and more definitive in terms of keeping the ball and looking for the right pass. They're not gambling as much, but then you've got more experienced players on the park.
Dembele. Here's De Jong. That's a great little ball. Dembele. Not bad from him either. Here's Ruiz. Nice touches. Shot a little bit too slow, but not that one, and it's crashed into the net to give Barca a 2-1 lead, and Rakitic was the man.
Well, you think of the shots in the first half from Luis Suarez on the edge of the box, but look at the finish here from Rakitic. Knee over the top of the ball, which means it's not going to go high, and it was a definitive, a really great professional strike. Well done. Barcelona have merited a second goal in the second half. But now the big question is, what about Milik's effort? And that's going to be brought up at the end of the game. If they lose this 2-1, they'll be saying, why didn't you hit that ball in the back of the net? That's a great strike. And well deserved. And Ruiz has had the shot. Look at that composure and the half volley. And the strike is just so clean. And he doesn't score simple goals. He only scores cracking goals, doesn't he, Rakitic?
A new contract to keep him at Barcelona, such an important part of the fabric of the club.
Ivan is the man. So important. Well, if they're going to save it, it's 10 minutes left, Paul, and they have shown they've got the quality, especially down that left-hand side. That super piece of play, the cross, should have been buried in the back of the net by Milik, that man.
In by Goulam. That's Piqué's head. It's corner to Napoli.
He's done himself no harm, Neto, today. He's played very, very well.
Much more assured than he was the other night, Jerry. And it was Ter Stegen brought on at half-time. 3 or 4 really good stops by Neto tonight. Rafinha. Drops for Dembele. Here he goes. They're going to try and rugby tackle him. Now, is that red or yellow in your opinion?
It's got to be a red card. It's gone through and the referee gives him a yellow, and I can't believe that. It should have been a red card. Very, very, very fortunate. Going for goal, first touch round the last defender. Have a look. There's nobody else behind him. He's going straight for goal and he pulls him back. None of these other defenders can get in and help, so he knows he has to pull him back. It's disappointing, but that's part of the professional game. And he's lucky it's a yellow. It should have been a red for me. They're asking the question, Busquets, Ivan Rakitic, they're asking the referee, why is it not a red card? And he's saying, oh, there was 2 other players, but the other 2 players were not in a position that they could have intercepted the ball. They were too far away from the play, and the referee for me's got it wrong. He's looked good since he came on, Dembele, hasn't he? He's really impressed.
Very much so, yeah. Firpo forced back.
Shows some good touches, Rafinha. Got a sweet left foot.
Gaetano gets away with that one. Switch by Busquets. Dembele again. He's really in the mood at the moment.
He's too quick for them, and they know it. They can't afford to give him a yard.
That's a bit risky. All's well that ends well. Maximovic. De Jong wins it back well. So much more like Barcelona here in the second period. Rafinha's been very, very good. Dembele looks to have a goal in him tonight.
I only seen Dembele getting better. Paul, he's class. And he's settling in nicely now at Barcelona. Well, he was offside and he knew it. The pass was made and he didn't even make an attempt to go for it because he was already a yard off. Now watch this touch round him. None of the other 2 blue shirts can do anything. They're not in a position that they can help the last defender out. And he has to pull him back.
If this is like a 2.5 or 3 hour match.
Right.
Rafinha again.
So you get 90 minutes to recover.
Just a bit too short for Dembele.
Would extend discretion.
Zielinski.
Tournament referee was turning the play.
Behind Insigne, but it dropped for him nonetheless off Nelson Semedo. Now Milik, got to make amends here. Milik steering away from Piqué. Neto sharp again.
Wow. Well, look at it in the end, Paul.
Dembele goes again. Abel Ruiz is up there with him. Still Dembele.
Oh, what a shot.
Oh my goodness, he's done everything right except hit the target. Shaped to go inside and brought 2 defenders one way, goes outside on his left foot and misses the target by a mile.
Somebody in the crowd here makes an unbelievable catch, Jerry.
Chào mừng các bạn đến với 388bet.com.
An ex-goalkeeper possibly. Unbelievable stuff end to end, and really good play, and it could go still down to the wire because although Barcelona's 2-1 up, Napoli have had a couple of chances.
Space here. Callejon with the pull back, and it's driven wide by Insigne. They read them each other so well. Insigne's just not had one of his best nights. He's so annoyed with himself.
Well, you can see why. He is a class player, and it's a great ball in. Insigne coming on the edge of the D. It's cut back to him, and he doesn't hit the target. He pulls the shot wide. And he's better than that, we know that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's poor finishing from him. On another night, he could have had a couple of goals.
But you think back to that one that Mertens had, Jerry, you know,
yeah.
On another night, early on, that chance, Mertens just puts that in the net. Same there with Insigne.
Totally, but I'm looking at the Milik. That's the best chance of the night. That's a tap-in. That's a header in the back of the net. And that's going to be an inquest at the very end.
One or two of the captains you played for, oh dear me, if you walk back in having done that.
Well, Pat Rice at Watford and certainly Steve Perryman at Tottenham, they would have had an absolute fit.
Never needs a battery. Citizen ProMaster. Go beyond.
Right now, the average kid plays less than 2 sports.
All sports are related in the sense that each sport helps the other sport. For me, most importantly, probably box lacrosse. There was a lot of body contact, cross-checking in the back, and I learned I really never got hit head-on very often. And I think all those sports were a big part of the success I had as a hockey player.
Visit projectplay.us to give sports back to kids.
Got to give the great one some play here.
Yeah, absolutely.
ESPN teaming up with the Aspen Institute on the Don't Retire Kid campaign, trying to raise awareness of the fact that participation in youth sports is declining. Final set.